Alrighty, freshwater prawn or a cherrapin, okay, don't ask me to spell it. These fellas are native here, they're found in most of our river systems. They actually like fairly warmer running water, obviously, being in the tropics. Now the interesting thing is, I mentioned a little bit about barra being live bait feeders. Yeah, if we take that over the dam and throw that in, that will, those barra there, even the smallest fella, that little one I held up, will eat that and eat that whole in one gulp, okay? There might only be a feeler or two hanging out the front for a little bit, but yeah, make no mistake, they will eat these sorts of things, and this is really good bait. The trick with this sort of stuff is, remembering saying that barra are live bait feeders, you've got to keep this alive. So yeah, that's the hardest thing. They are quite finicky animals, so head off down the river, you know, you've got to keep changing the water and aerating the water, so they are a bit tricky there. But yeah, put your hook string gently. That's a bit of a contradiction, I know, but yeah, he'll stay alive on a hook for 4 or 5 hours, and the good thing about that is if you don't get a fish during the day, you can take your bait home and eat it that night. They are pretty good chewing in their own right, and a lot better than a can of worms trout fishing. But yeah, they will get a bit bigger than this. There's a couple of bigger fellas in there. But like I said, this is the sort of stuff you really got to start thinking about come, like I said, June, July, August. It's getting cooler. They're going to go off lures. They're going to only eat once a week, and they'll be a bit fussy about what they eat. And this is sort of some of the really better stuff to start to use. Be a little bit careful where you go live baiting. Northern Territory is one of those really strange places that has every river system, every water hole seems to have a different set of fishing rules, you know, depending on whether you're in Aboriginal land, conservation land, lease, you know. A couple of spots you can actually use live bait on one side of the river but not on the other side of the river, so yeah. Nosey's gone very quiet, very quick. Yeah, like I said, they are quite a finicky animal. These guys here aren't going to pick up the pension in here, alright? This is our bait tank, so there's some coming in today, some going out tomorrow sort of thing.
What do they call it?
Freshwater prawn or a cherrapin, yeah. Now the other fellas, I'll see if I can find somebody in their house. Alright. There you go. Don't bite me.
Look at that.
There you go, yeah.
He doesn't want me.
I wasn't quick enough getting me out of the net. Alright. Yeah, yabbies. This is the red claw, obvious reason. These are, again, a warm water animal. Found all through Queensland. Get a lot bigger in Queensland. This is, you know, they don't really get much bigger than this. This is a boy yabby. 2 ways you can tell. He has the red claw. The girls actually don't have the red claws. They have a lot narrower, smaller, darker claw. And actually, believe it or not, they farm these extensively. These are very easy to breed and farm. I actually sex them when they're quite young, believe it or not, because actually a female will have about 250 young. They'll only keep about half of them. They'll only keep the bigger male yabbies, and I'm not quite sure how you work out that big who's going to be a bigger male yabby, but you can actually sex them. Believe it or not, he actually has these exposed genitals under his bottom legs, and the girl has hers on the third leg, so that's how they actually do that. Again, not bad bait, not as good as the cherrapin though. Reasonably hard and crunchy, so yeah, obviously if Barra eats that today, he's not going to eat too much for the rest of this week, so yeah, that's what you'll start thinking about. But same thing, these are very tough. These will, you can head off with these in a bucket or a wet wheat bag and drive around Australia a couple of times, and a month later they still will be alive. They are incredibly tough. They export them, they actually pack them in a bit of ice, just sort of slows them right down, and then they wake them up the end and boil them, I suppose. But yeah, so yeah, they can actually transport them all alive very, very easily. But like I said, you get into the cooler months, that little fish, Barra will really eat anything small that's alive and wriggles in the water. Be a bit careful what you do. They love baby crocodiles. Don't use baby crocodiles for bait. Okay, conservation takes a very dim view on that. But yeah, they will, believe it or not, if it's small and little and wriggles in the water, Barra will generally have a bit of a go at it. So the other tank over there, you can have a look at your leisure. There's a couple of fish in there, a couple of Barra. There's a little one and a big one. The little one was 1.5 inches long.